Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are moving on to next chapter, that is the smothered mate. Let us see what is smothered mate. Smothered mate is amongst one of the mating patterns. Okay, mating pattern means what? Pattern is a repetition of an idea. So let's see what are the requirements for smothered mate. We see two things. One, the placing of the king. Usually it is on the G8 or B8 squares, but it can be on the any square on the last rank. Okay. Secondly, we see the presence of a knight which attacks the square diagonally placed to the king. Okay. Usually the longer diagonal, not the other one. And on that same diagonal, if you extend, the queen must be able to give a check. Then we can use this idea. Okay. It will not happen all the time. Today we are going to see the cases when we can use the idea. Okay. Let's see here. This is a very interesting position. White seems to be in serious trouble right now because black is threatening rook a1. Okay, rook a1 is not only pinning the queen, okay, and there are some back rank issues. Suppose white moves the queen now. For example, if queen f7 check, okay, then king h8, and now we see that there are two problems. One, rook a1 is check and it's checkmate also. Secondly, if white plays anything like h3, then queen c1 check and the knight is lost. So black will win the game. And if white plays h4, then also is losing after, let's say h4, rook a1 check, king goes to h2, queen e5 check, king h3 and rook h1 check. And soon we will see everything will be taken by check. Because after king g4, queen d4 check and h4 will be taken with check. And white will never get any chance to do queen checks and all. Okay, so black will be winning in the position. Let's go back to the position quickly. White has to give check along the diagonal in such a way that the f7 square, the next square on the diagonal, is available for the knight. Okay, so the knight and queen both should be capable of attacking the square which is one step away on the diagonal from the king. Okay, so suppose king comes to f8 now, just queen f7 wins. Okay, so it's checkmate. So black has to go king h8. Now let us understand what is the technique here. Okay, so now what happens? We want the queen to come to g8, okay, and in such a way that king cannot take on g8. So some people do blunder here. They play queen g8 thinking if rook takes the queen, then knight f7 mate. These blunders I have seen happening. Okay, but here white will just take with the king. So this knight has to control both these squares. That is why the control of this square for the knight is very important. So now see what white does. Knight f7 check, forcing the king on g8, and now there is an opportunity to use double check. Knight comes to h6. This is another feature. There will be this double check. Okay, and now see king if comes to f8 again. So we are controlling the f7 square. That is why, and queen f7 checkmate. That is why this square, diagonally one square ahead, is very important, where both of queen and knight, both of them are controlling. Now see king has to go to h8, and now we see the role for the knight which has moved twice and arranged itself from g5 to h6, covering both these squares. Now comes see queen g8 check. Now see king cannot take the queen because of the knight, so the rook has to take the queen and knight f7 checkmate. So what is smothered mate? When the king is surrounded by its own pieces and usually the knight check appears and it's a mate. So this is the concept of smothered mate. We will be looking at few more positions so that we understand the pattern very well. Okay, let's go to next one. Let's look at the next position here. We have a case where black has got his king on c8 and he hasn't been able to castle. Okay. That is why the rook on a8 is stuck. White has sacrificed quite some material here. See, we see that just queen and knight versus queen and knight, and two rooks are extra with black. Okay, so same idea. So very easy thing. We can't give check from e6 right now. The square on the diagonal is knight from the king is right now attacked by the knight. Okay, and the queen joins by queen g4 check. So this diagonal check is very important. Now see if king comes to d8, then qd7 checkmate. So king goes to b8. This is simply we can say repetition of like the previous example. Okay. Now see knight comes to d7 check. king has only one place. Again note that if we had played qc8 check, king would have just taken the queen. Okay, that is why I am repeating with this example. So first we have to use knight check, king goes to c8, and now we have to arrange the knight in such a way that it controls the square one step from the diagonal and the square where the king is standing now. So both these squares we will have to attack. So knight b6 check. See, this is double check. The queen cannot, the pawn cannot take the knight. Okay, and nothing can be done to the queen. Okay, so this is the pattern what is going to happen. So now king goes to b8. After king b8, again if king goes to d8, then qd7 is made. So king goes to b8. Now the same technique. After nd7 we are seeing king is coming to c8 again and again. So we sacrifice the queen, force the rook to occupy the square. Okay, and the king has no place, and then we do knight d7 checkmate. Okay, what happened in the game is, let's see, same thing happened, but just with one extra move for black. I'll just show you quickly. It is no different. Queen g4 check, black played f5, queen takes f5 check, king went to b8, knight d7 check, king goes to c8, knight b6 check, king went to b8, now qc8 check, rook takes c8, and knight d7 mate. Only one move was prolonged by playing the pawn to f5. Nothing much was not changed over there. Okay, the next position, which is slightly different than from a normal smothered mate. Let's see where we have got more attacks. Firstly, we look at the position. We come to know that black is having an extra rook. Okay, queen for queen, knight for knight, knight for bishop, and the rook is extra. Okay, white has a strong pawn on f6, which is close to the king, and we see the square which is weak here is the g7 square. See, on g7 the square near the king will be weak, where we have more attacks. Okay, so more attacks than supports, or as it is we have more number of attackers. So see, 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack, and bishop also aiming in the same line as that of the pawn. So the bishop is also attacking on g7. So white has 4 attacks on g7, black has 2 supports, but it looks as if white cannot take any advantage, because bishop cannot go to g7 directly and the queen will have to go to g7. Okay, but let's see what happens here. White plays qg7 check. Okay, queen takes g7 forced. Okay, now see, pawn takes g7 and king goes to g8. Now we see another situation where the king is surrounded by his pieces, but one pawn here is opponent's. Okay, so although it is surrounded by pieces here, one piece is opponent's, it is not his own piece, and the pawn helps here in covering both the places. So now what happens? Knight check from h6 is blunder, because just the knight takes it, but knight to e7, and see, black is mated. So this is a bit rare kind of situation where the pawn has reached the 7th rank and we see just one knight doing the mate. But this is from an actual game position. Okay, so knowing these ideas can be very useful. Let's go to next position. Let's go to the next position. This is a very interesting position. Black had sacrificed 2 rooks. See, he is already 2 rooks down. White has got 2 extra rooks in the position. Queen for queen, knight for knight, knight for bishop, and 2 rooks extra. We see the white king position. It is very badly placed. No place for the king to move. And whenever 2 knights are near the king, and we see the diagonal getting attacked by queen and knight, we should always think about the smothered mate. Okay, let's see what happens here. Knight comes to g3 check, most obvious check. We are using the h knight to g3 because we see that the e2 knight is covering the g1 square. Okay, so one square is already blocked by one of our knights, that is the active knight. So white is using the other, black is using the other knight. So knight g3 check, king has to go to h2, and now black has a very powerful check. See, knight f1 double check. So white cannot take queen into queen because knight is also giving a check, and this forces white to play the move king h1. Now here many people think that black can just take the knight into queen. He can take the queen, then knight takes the knight, and then queen takes the knight. But the position will not be a very easy winning one. Black noted here like I told you, this diagonal, see from the king, this has become a diagonal now, okay? And now what is happening? The king is constantly moving to the square h2 when the knight gives check from g3. So this h2 square has to be blocked. So black plays the move queen h2 check, sacrificing the queen and forcing the white piece to capture the queen. So now see, knight has to take, because the knight was also controlling h2. And we again see the role of this e2 knight, it is controlling g1. So now the f knight will give check from g3, and the king has no place on g1 because of the e2 knight, and other squares are all surrounded by his own pieces. So this is called semi-smothered mate, means half smothered mate, where it is the king is not fully covered by his pieces. One square is covered by our own piece, other piece, okay, than the knight which is giving check. So hence it is called semi-smothered mate. But this is a very interesting position. Let's look at the next position and the last one. We see that already the black king is in trouble. It has only one square on b7 to move, okay, and we see the white pieces, the queen, the knight, this bishop, okay, they are very active already, and the b3 bishop is able to give check from d5 square. Black on the other hand has just two pieces which are threatening on the g2 square, okay. So white has to act fast obviously, and he doesn't want to defend by rook g1 and all, okay. So white goes for the move bishop d5 check, okay. The position is slightly different in nature. Let's see, too many attack supports are there. So first, if black plays the knight to c6, then white can win in two ways. One, bishop into c6 check, rook c6, and then queen c6 mates. Okay, he could have done it other way also. First taking with the queen and then capturing with the bishop. That would have also done. Okay, so the only move for black is knight to b7. Now what we see here, that on b8 we have got the possibility of forcing the rook to b8 and do knight c7 check. Okay, but we notice that the bishop on b6 is the defender. So bishop is defending a7. See, rook and knight both attack a7, and the bishop is also defending the c7 square. So what white does here, see, he does first qb8 check, forcing the rook to capture the queen because of this bishop, and now he wants knight c7 mate, but the bishop is defender. So bishop is defender of two places. So the bishop is the overloaded piece here. So what white does? White sacrifices the rook. Rook a7 check. See, bishop has to take the rook, and then knight goes to c7 and checkmate. Okay, white would have not done it other way. Do note that. If we think that we can take rook first, rook a7, bishop a7, then qb8, then that time white has bishop into b8. So the same way it will not work. Okay. So this was about smothered mate. So I have tried to cover these positions. Last two were slightly different. Okay, because what I wanted to show you, it is not just the diagonal from where only knight and queen can be used. We can use some other pieces also. Okay, I hope you are enjoying these lessons. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Also comment below if there are any queries. Thanks for your time.